Thank you for watching. I would like to explain the functions of this site. Click to read. This is a function that reads aloud when you click on it. You can operate and set speed, pitch, volume, no explanation, explanation provided, activation, deactivation of text emphasis, manual stop, automatic stop, etc. Automatic scrolling. This is an automatic scrolling feature. Automatic scrolling on, off, speed, and pitch can be operated and set. Recommended for beginners in building home servers, home file servers, and Linux servers. How to create a Heimserver Debian12, Linux, using copy and paste. Link. How to create a Heimserver Debian12, Linux. Home server preparation work. Install. SSH server remote connection, term. Initial setting. Desktop environment settings. File server settings. Backup settings. NTP server settings, cronny. Security measures. Domain settings. DNS server settings. Web server settings. Database settings. FTP server settings. Mail server settings. Log analysis settings. System monitoring settings. VPN server settings. Soft Ether VPN saver. Ubermin settings. Usermin settings. Subdomain settings. Multiple domain settings. Blog site construction. WordPress settings. How to make WordPress easy to use. Server automatic startup settings. Recover from unbootable condition with installation DVD. Partition operations. Disk cloning. How to create a Heimserver Debian12, Linux. We explain how even beginners can easily create a Linux home server by copying and pasting. Explains how to build general server applications such as web servers, mail servers, and file servers. It also explains how to strengthen the security of your server and how to monitor your system. Home server preparation work. What is a server? Router settings. Static NAT settings. DHCP-v4 server settings greater than DHCP fixed IP address settings. Static IP masquerading settings server body. BIOS settings domain acquisition. Paid domain acquisition ISO file size calculation. ImageGBN, installation DVD creation software, download, install. Localizing into Japanese. How to create an installation disk. Rufasu, installation USB memory creation software, download, install. How to create an installation USB memory. Term, download, install. How to use term. List of frequently used terminal commands. Gmail registration. Register email address for server transmission. Register email address for root email forwarding. Download and install Thunderbird. How to register your email address. Download and install Ultra Buianushi. Windows Remote Desktop functionality. Install. Debian12 download. Installation DVD creation. Debian12 installation. SSH server remote connection, term. Preparing SSH server remote connection. How to use term. Initial setting. Creating a general user. Restrict users who can become root. Deleting general users. Disable firewall and sway Renakusu. Network settings. System modernization. Add repository. Automatic package updates. Installing the development tools package. Vim, text editor, settings. Setting up sudo, root privileges, cron settings. Installing the nkf command tool. Desktop environment settings. Desktop environment installation. XRDP server settings. Japanese environment settings. File server settings. Installing Samba. Initial configuration of Samba. Backup settings. Creating a backup area. Configuring automatic backups. NTP server settings, Crony. Security measures. Installing antivirus software, Clam antivirus, introduction of file tampering detection system, Tripwire, introduction of rootkit detection system, RK Hunter, setting up SSH server public key authentication method connection. Domain settings. Installing Dice. Configuring Dice. Adding Dice events. DNS server settings. Installing bind. Setting zone information. TCP, UDP port 53 open. Port open test. Starting bind and checking its operation. Move to chroot environment. Setting a host alias. Change DNS settings of PC in home network. Checking the secondary DNS. Web server settings. Installing HTTPD. Open TCP port 80. Port open test. Installing Perl. Installing PHP. Installing Ruby. Installing Perl modules. Installing ImageMagick. Obtaining a server certificate. Configuring SSL. Database settings. Installing MariaDB. FTP server settings. Installing VSFTPD. FTP client settings. Mail server settings. Pasatafakusu configuration. SMTP authentication settings. Creating a Maildir format mailbox. Open ports TCP25 and TCP587. Port open test. OP25B measures. Installing Dovecot. TCP110 or TCP143 port open. Port open test. Add email user. Check send mail path. Email software registration. Obtaining a server certificate. Configuring SSL. Open TCP port 465. Port open test. TCP port 587 closed. Port open test. Dovecot settings. TCP 995 or TCP 993 port open. Port open test. Change email software settings. Integration of antivirus software, Clamov plus Amaviasti. Log analysis settings. Installing web access log analysis, Idabaria Zoo. Installing email log analysis, Fiogsum. System monitoring settings. Installing Nagios. Nagios plugin installation. Nagios settings. Apache configuration. Start Nagios. VPN server settings. Soft Ether VPN saver. Soft Ether VPN server installation. Start Soft Ether VPN server. UDP port 500, UDP port 4500 open. Port open test. Soft Ether VPN server settings. Soft Ether VPN server download and installation. Soft Ether VPN server initial settings. Fixed Hikari telephone handset connection from outside. Ubuntu settings. Ubuntu installation. Startup confirmation. Min settings. Min installation. Startup confirmation. Subdomain settings. Create directory for subdomain. Test page creation. Obtain server certificate. Main domain SSL settings. Subdomain SSL settings. Multiple domain settings. Creating directories for multiple domains. Test page creation. Obtain server certificate. Multi-domain SSL settings. Bind settings. Setting zone information. Blog site construction, WordPress settings. Web server, PHP settings. Database settings. Create a blog database. WordPress installation. WordPress settings. Apache configuration. WordPress initial settings. Display settings for WordPress directly under the domain. How to make WordPress easy to use. Initial setting. Article editor enhancements. SEO measures. Sitekit by Google. SEO measures for each posted article. Add widget. Custom CSS. Add quick tag. Slideshow installation. Comment field hidden. Display related articles. Table of contents display. Redirect detection. Let Google index it. Expanding multi-byte functionality. Output sitemap. Inquiry form. Reservation automatic posting. Display order of posted articles. Alternate input. Server automatic startup settings. BIOS settings. Recover from unbootable condition with installation DVD. Partition operations. Install gpotato. Disk cloning. Ubuntu desktop download. Live DVD creation. Clone disk. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope this was helpful.